I am just going to do a quick demo of some of the new features in Pages, the iOS and Mac OS program for word processing that I think might be relevant to people who are trying to use iPads for doing real editorial work. I've got a mouse cursor here. I'm using an Apple Magic Mouse, but I could be using a trackpad. Both work well. And I'm also using a Logitech Crayon. Could also be using an Apple Pencil. So turning, you'll note when you use the pencil or the crayon that you get the smart annotation thing. And if you need to switch back and forth between either touch the mouse cursor or the pencil, you need to turn off smart annotation when you're done. Anyway, I introduced a couple errors into this manuscript just so you can see what you could kind of do. Area 15. Oops, I did it wrong. Well, anyway, you get the idea. Let's try that again. If you needed to do the little transpose thing, now it'll stay there. That doodle, as you can see, it kind of flashed, is now associated with those two words. If you were to save this Pages document and send it to somebody, that somebody, if they opened it in Pages, either on a Mac or on an iPad, would see that doodle there. And similarly, you can output this as a PDF with all the same comments, all the same hand annotations. On top of that, with the thing that's more exciting to me in the way I work, because I don't typically mark manuscripts by hand, is the mouse cursor, which now works, as far as I'm concerned, as well or better in some cases than it does on a Mac. Oops, see, I'm drawing. You can actually use the mouse cursor. You don't need the Apple Pencil too. You can do smart annotations with that, but let's leave that aside because that's not what I meant. So turning off the smart annotations, I'm just in regular Pages now, and you can see I have a normal cursor. Works just like on a regular computer. It's a really precise text placement. It's much more Mac-like in that regard, but you still have all the advantages of touch. If you've got change tracking on, which I will now turn on, you get the same sort of markup as you do in Word. You can add comments, of course, and all of this shows up between all the comments and track changes in Pages translate perfectly to Word. I've never had a problem with it. The drawn-on annotations won't show up, and it tells you that when you go to export. But all of this other stuff will show up in a PDF if you need to share it that way. I hope that makes some sense. But like the confluence of all of these features, especially the mouse cursor part in the last couple of weeks, is just, I think, really turbocharged, if you will, the iPad as a tool for doing editorial markup, especially if everybody stays in Pages for the developmental phase. Thanks.